Welcome back to third period action here. Jim Rivers along with Happy Jack Karen. Pride and joy of the west side of Manchester. And Kearsarge leading here comfortably 30-14. Mascoma Valley, a young team. They frankly had a tough season. They're 0-17, but they have laid it all out here tonight. And hopefully there are better things ahead for them next year, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. You know, like we said, it was 7-5 in the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter. So, I mean, you know, they're here, and they're going to do their best. And again, maybe impress the coaches or do something leading into next season.
Well, they come out here with a full court press. Debbie Crashaw had led the team with 8 points, and I don't think she scored her first bucket until well into the first period.
Yeah, exactly.
Alyssa Hammond leading the Royals with 7 points, 4 of them from the charity stripe. There's Crashaw. Put back is no good. And the Royals will bring it up.
See, they're spreading out their offense, you know, trying to get a good shot. But you look at the score, okay? You can't make up 14 points right away, so let's just try chipping at it.
Yeah. Never get to watch the YCN News every weekday at 7 and 10. YCN News is a digest of all things local. News, sports, events, and public affairs in the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region. It's YCN, your local view. Maggie Stockwell, her first bucket of the second half. She had 11 in that win up at Mascoma. Good inside position by Elizabeth Pelton, freshman with good size.
You know, I really like what Coach Roberts is doing here for Kearsarge. You know, he's going back, he's dropping into a 2-1-2 zone, and they're aggressive. It's not just a fallback zone, a lazy zone. It's an aggressive zone, which is what I'm sure the coach would like to see. For the most part, they're telling Mascoma, you know what, if you're going to throw up three-pointers, take them.
Take them, yep. And, of course, they're happy to watch them dribble around the perimeter for 25 and 30 seconds a whack when you're leading by 16. Into the paint. Running one-hander doesn't drop for Pringle. And the Cougars bring it down.
That was a la Tommy Heinsohn there.
Right back. Alyssa Hammond. As you say, Kearsarge content to let the Royals shoot from there all night.
Absolutely right. Notice how they box out. They're very well skilled at boxing out underneath their defensive basket.
And the Cougars are content to throw them up from outside, too.
Yeah, they're not bashful, believe me.
No. Crashaw. They haven't had too many shots from in the paint this period. They lead by 16. Mascoma Valley starting the second half much the way they did the first half, just unable to find the lid on top of that basket. Wholesale changes here for Mascoma. And I suspect we're going to see a lot of this half. Bailey Mansour into the game now. Dakota Richardson checks into the game. Pringle is still in there. Kayla Hammond and looks like Morgan Longley into the game now for Mascoma. Tune in to YCN's Outside Television in high def on Comcast HD Channel 17 or Channel 21 for all the outdoor adventure. Mascoma getting a second and a third attempt here.
Well, again, you got some of the bench players Coach Roberts is using right now. But the one thing that I see is if you watch number 24 for Kearsarge, Caitlin Prescott, she takes up, she has a long wingspan. She takes up that whole middle of the paint, which is really important to not let anyone drive to the basket.
Well, let's take this TV timeout while they take a timeout on the Kearsarge bench. You're watching the YCN game of the week. Stay tuned for more game action. Now it's Macy Hansen due to inbound the ball underneath the Mascoma basket to start things back up here. We're at the halfway point of period number 3. It's a 16-point lead for the Cougars as they prepare to move into the Division III playoffs here. The boys still with a couple of games left. The girls pretty much wrapping up tonight. Right now it's Conant and Guilford at the top of Division III in the girls' side, both 18-0, Jack. Then Pelham at 14-3, Laconia at 15-3, Newfound at 15-3, Fall Mountain at 14-3. The two teams right ahead of Kearsarge tonight. Berlin is playing Somersworth and Hopkinton playing at Fall Mountain, so a win here, and they could move up a couple of spots.
And like you say, that home court advantage is major at this level, you know?
Have to chuckle at head coach of the Mascoma team, John Billings, down there using a little body language every time they throw a ball up, trying to do a little Carlton Fisk and get and move the ball in. Again, we're seeing the lid on both ends right now. Kearsarge moves it in just a little bit closer. Ten points, double figures for Debbie Kearsarge. Now 34-16 lead.
See, now that they have the bench players in, they're going to the normal man-to-man defense.
Taylor Albright, a sophomore, into the game now for Kearsarge.
You know, seeing the way that Kearsarge changes their defenses and stuff, that's a tribute to the coach. You know what I mean? They're well trained, so that whether they go from man-to-man, zone press, zone defense, it's all in a rhythm, and it's not easy to beat that, Jim. Not easy at all.
And again, Pringle brings it up relatively slowly. That's going to be a foul over the back on Brianna Sullivan. That'll be number 2 on her.
You and Taylor switch men. You and Taylor switch.
If you look up online, the foul over the back, that was a classic right there.
Good defense.
Stay in it.
Hammond draws the foul. She'll go to the line. Madison Corser, her second foul of the night. Hammond 0 for 1 from the line tonight.
Box out. Box out.
Gets one of the two, and it's 34-17. Elena Pringle.
Let's go!
A lot of these bench players want to get into the into the scoring column. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
Give me the ball. I'm open. I'm going to throw it up.
We have a timeout taken here. We can consider that a conversation. Let's take this TV timeout. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Stay tuned for more game action. Don't forget to stay tuned near the end of our telecast for the HR Clough Kearsarge Heating Oil Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game, where we'll pick the top performer of tonight's game. Really, there's not been a standout. There's been 3 or 4 who played very well for Kearsarge, and a couple from Mascoma too. As we're talking about some of the younger players getting some action in this game, and they do want to score, but probably realizing that if they go to the playoffs, they're probably not going to see a lot of action. And if Kearsarge can win this game, they're probably looking at hosting a Sanborn or a Stevens, Franklin, maybe a Belmont in the play-in. One of those teams likely. Foul is on Jenna McCarthy. Hammond shooting 2. She's 1 of 3 on the night.
Box out.
No, you're absolutely right, Jim. For some of these players from Kearsarge, this is their swan song probably for the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And for the young ladies from Mascoma, probably off to spring track, maybe a little softball.
And some off to college, Jim.
Yeah, got another semester to go.
Oh. Well, I'm so used to that early.
I know. You spent 7 years in high school, Jack.
Please leave. Please leave.
Go 2-3. 2-3.
And Kayla Albright picks up her first foul. 34-13. 34-18, excuse me. And again, Lena Pringle very deliberate in bringing the ball up, not moving it quickly.
Let's go.
2-point attempt rims out for Kleckner.
Stop ball.
Albright cleaning the boards. We're under 20 seconds. Got to play for one last shot here to close out the third period. Mascoma Valley held to 2 points here in this third period. Kearsarge picking up 11. 34-18 as we head into the final 8 minutes of play here. Let's take this TV timeout. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Stay tuned for more game action.